Happy New Year, Suns fans. Yay. Oh my God. That felt like a really, really long game. like, I don't know, you guys. This is just going to be more of like a rant, if you will, than it is going to be like a post-game live show. Just some things that I want to just share that I saw, some things that were being said on Twitter, which a lot of it is 110% true. And, normally I sort of have like a game plan for these shows, and I am going to kind of introduce a couple new quote segments, if you will. I just wish I would be introducing those segments for a better game. By the way, you guys, let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully everything sounds okay. Appreciate you guys. Chris, I would pull up your comment, but I don't want to offend anybody. George says, I hope I said your name right. George says, Happy New Year, Suns Geek. Well, Happy New Year's to you. Shot Chucker, it's Joe over. Oh, God. Suns Twitter today was hilarious. And reacting to Phoenix Suns Twitter part 32, which, by the way, follow me on TikTok and Instagram and all that, because I've been doing that series pretty hardcore. It's going to be hilarious because Suns Twitter was so freaking funny today, man. How's everybody doing? You know what, guys? I appreciate y'all being here, and I encourage you to stick around for the rest of the stream. But after the stream, just go enjoy the rest of your Monday. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it, because we just wasted like 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's tough being a Suns fan right now. Seriously, guys, I don't care if you guys are working today or if you got the day off or whatever the case is. After this show, after you guys are done watching me rant, just go enjoy your Monday, because that's what I'm going to go do. Anyways, let's talk about this game. In a game which we saw, this was a game where the Suns were coming into New York with 9 straight wins over the Knicks. That was snapped today. This was a game where the Phoenix Suns' highest scorer was DeAndre Ayton with 12 points. I even refreshed the page to make sure I wasn't tripping. The Suns' highest scorer in this game was DeAndre Ayton, who had 12 points. Now, in all fairness, Bridges had 10, Paul had 11, Washington and Lee had 10. But that's bad, you guys. That is so bad. Oh, God. I legit got scared at one point in the game, and I even tweeted this out. I said, I pray to God the Suns get 50 points in this game, because at one point it didn't seem like the Suns were going to get 50 points. But in all fairness, I also did tweet out, and it's funny how this works out. After I tweeted out that 50-point thing, I said, in all fairness, the Knicks haven't reached 70 points yet. And then literally like 3 minutes later, they were at 72 points. Oh, boy. Let me just pull up Shot Chucker's comments real quick. We have to hold the lead this season and being down. We have to hold the lead this season and being down double digits in basically every single first quarter. Exactly. This tweet right here is beautiful. And that's kind of where I want to start. Ayton had our first 4 points, right? I think he had like a couple nice mid-range shots or a couple shots in the post. He looked pretty good early in the game. And by the way, let me know in the chat what you guys saw from DeAndre Ayton tonight, because I didn't really see much. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Shout out to my guy, Roy. Appreciate you being here, man. You're a real one, bro. So let's start off just early. And let me pull up my little opening thoughts and reaction here. So Ayton had the Suns' first 4 points. All of a sudden, the Suns just went ice cold. And it wasn't that they weren't necessarily getting good looks, just the ball was just clanking off the rim, just brick, missed opportunities. The Knicks got so many second chance points in this game. The Knicks go on a 14-0 run. The Suns had 7 straight misses. They were 2 for 12 from the field to start the game. That's when we knew things were going to get pretty bad. Like I mentioned, Suns couldn't grab an offensive rebound to save their life. Couldn't get anybody going. Excuse me. End of the first quarter. A season low. 11 points. Who was the Suns' leading scorer in this game? DeAndre Ayton. How many points did they have in the first quarter? 11. We were 1 for 10 at the end of the first quarter from three. Good enough for 10% from the field. I think at the end of the first quarter, the Knicks had 17 rebounds. They had like 7 second chance points at the end of the first. Julius Randle had like 6 rebounds, maybe more at the end of the first quarter. All of a sudden, 18-0 run. Somebody summed this up on Twitter too. Ayton has 10 points in the first half. The rest of the team has 14. Suns are down 24-54. And I don't blame them. But, ESPN, Sports Center, a few other big media social media outs. Well, I can't even talk. A few other social media people posted the score of the game. So, of course, we're getting clowned on Twitter and all that. So, just reading a couple other things. The Suns had 20 points midway through the second quarter. They were shooting 29% overall, 2 for 14 from three-point range. It's just difficulty in making their shots, you guys. I read earlier that the Suns are 27th in defensive rating at the start of the season. Dwayne Rankin posted this tweet that I thought was good. Ayton turnaround jumper ended a 21-0 Knicks run. The Suns were down 54-31 after being down as many as 32. They ended the half on an 11-2 run. Shout out to Dwayne Rankin for summing that up. Now, I will say in all fairness, he mentioned the Suns went on an 11-2 run at the end of the second half. And it's true. Like, I looked it up. I looked up the play-by-play. I think the Knicks' last points of the second quarter was a Quentin Grimes shot and then Jalen Brunson free throws. So they did go a few minutes without scoring, which is why I tweeted out, I legit got scared that we weren't going to make 50 points in this game. But then again, the Knicks at one point didn't have 70 points. There were a few spurts, a few brief, small moments of defensive effort from the Phoenix Suns and runs, but it did not matter. It was like the Knicks would be up 25 or something. The Suns would cut the lead to 20. You know what I mean? Or the Knicks are up 32. They cut the lead to 27. It didn't matter. And as Shot Chucker's comment earlier here, let me pull it up again if you guys missed it. He said, we have to hold the lead this season in being down double digits in basically every first quarter. Somebody tweeted that out recently too. It might have been my guy, John from the Suns Jam Session podcast, which, by the way, go check them out. They're great. They do great content. After I'm done ranting here, definitely go check out their podcast. Let me see if I can find the tweet real quick, because I think he tweeted it out recently. I don't know. I'll find it. I'll get back to it. But yeah, the Suns pretty much in the first quarter suck. And we're just giving up way too many points in the first quarter. And it's pretty embarrassing. I can't find the tweet, but somebody tweeted that out. But yeah, we're terrible in the first quarter. All right, moving on. Let's see. Shout out to Gerald Bourget, who tweeted this out. 1 step forward, 3 steps back. The last month plus signs of progress in Denver and Memphis. Because remember, we took a pretty much fully healthy Denver Nuggets team on Christmas night. Oops, I hit my mic. On Christmas night into overtime. And then we blew out the Grizzlies in Memphis. Excuse me. Yeah, he said, signs of progress in Denver. Couple steps back. It's like I said recently. I did a Q&A live stream on New Year's night. And I pretty much said, I don't remember the last time the Suns won. The losses are overshadowing the wins. And I don't know. Somebody else pointed this out. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 12 for 26 from the field. The Suns had 39 points at that time, 17 for 50 from the field. I got to take a sip of my water. Please forgive me. That was midway through the third quarter. How many did Randall and Brunson finish with? 28 and 24. Jesus. Kevin Ray pointed out on the broadcast, the Phoenix Suns are number 3 in the league in three-point shooting. It does not seem like it. That three-point shooting is probably all coming from Damian Lee, who's like number 1 in three-point shooting. And that's it. Those were just some of my takeaways and things that I saw. I really want to introduce these new like quote segments, but I really don't. Pretty much all they are is just I want to start picking like an MVP of the game, best off the bench, worst moments of the game or whatever. But that doesn't really feel like I should do that this game because this game was embarrassing, you guys. Like I can go on a rant. I can try to point out the positives and everything, but there's just nothing, man. I tweeted it out. I said the Suns just need to get healthy, and then when we get healthy, make some kind of a move. But even then, I don't know if a move is going to fix this. And in all fairness, try to remember, Suns fans, we are a really good team when we are healthy, but clearly something needs to be done. If James Jones has the audacity and the stomach to go into the playoffs with this roster, whew, I don't see how we get past the first round. I'm serious. Excuse me. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me get my throat under control here. I'm tripping right now. Because think about it. We had a better roster last year, and we barely beat the Pelicans, who I always like to remind Suns fans, they almost beat us last year. And then after game 5, we got completely embarrassed by the Mavericks. So, yeah, Jesse makes a good point here. They need to stop treating teams like friends and also stop leaving shooters open. So the game was pretty much over at this point, but I remember there was 1-3. And in all fairness, I think it was Ish Wainwright who did close out pretty well. But like Julius Randle had like this much space and just popped an open 3. And again, Ish Wainwright ran over, closed out pretty well, but it didn't matter. He literally had this much space as he was catching the ball, taking his steps, and shooting the 3. It just way too much space. Way too much space. And I've said this so many times. I feel like all these live streams and my videos are just so repetitive. Our paint defense sucks. Anybody can just drive into the rim and just put it in. It's bad. Shout out to my guy Cody who says midday live with Suns Geek. Appreciate you being here, man. I wish you were better. I wish you were here for a better game and a better post-game live show. This is pretty much just a giant rant at this point. He says, don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button. Shout out to you, Cody. I hope you start your YouTube channel in 2023. Go follow my guy, Cody. He's on Instagram. I think it's Dude Who Loves Movies. And he might start a channel in 2023. He's one of the biggest movie fans I've ever met. And he's a good friend. Thank you so much for the great Christmas gifts and everything, Cody. I appreciate it. Let's just get to some comments here. Shout out to my guy, Roy. He's been here for a long time. The Suns need to make some move during the trade deadline. There are still some missing pieces, even though we have a lot of injuries. Exactly. I don't know how, like, you're James Jones and you just see what's happening in this game. You see that we didn't have 50 points at halftime and say, we're good. We're fine. We just need Booker back. We need Cam Johnson back. We're fine. We're good. Let me go up and down the roster real quick. Because I'm not saying this game was like, I mean, it was really bad, but like, I'm not saying there weren't things to take away. I sound like Monty Williams right now, but Shot Checker says, it's fine, guys. JJ just told me, I'm an insider, by the way, that he's cooking up something special this trade deadline. So Shot Chucker, that's so good. Well, we got inside information here from Shot Chucker. that we're good, you guys. We're fine. Everything's good. These things take time. You know what I mean? We're going to be fine, Suns fans. James Jones is cooking up something special at the deadline. Oh, boy. Even then, you guys, I'm like, I don't know how much faith I have in this roster right now. You know what I mean? And I think that that's fair. Because what? This is loss number 11 in the last 15? Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. And again, I don't know. You guys tell me, man. Let's go up and down the roster real quick. Torrey Craig had a lot of great effort tonight. Didn't really do much. Had 7 rebounds. Mikal Bridges, 4 for 11 from the field, 10 points, 4 assists. He's just, I don't know what's wrong with Mikal Bridges, man. I haven't seen, I'm a big fan of his cutting and driving to the lane. I haven't seen that in a long time. I haven't seen those mid-range shots that he can do. He can't hit anything from 3. I don't know, man. DeAndre Ayton, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. You guys tell me, because all I really saw from DeAndre Ayton tonight was just those couple of mid-range shots at the beginning of the game. I didn't really see too much from Ayton after that. I understand if he gets like boxed out and maybe like 2 guys swarm him to grab a rebound over him, but his rebounding numbers, yikes. I mean, I even noted this. This was against the Raptors. And I'm not trying to pick on DeAndre Ayton here. I'm really not. Let's talk about Ayton. I'm really not trying to pick on DeAndre Ayton here. DeAndre Ayton had 4 points. Was it 7 rebounds? And like 3 assists? He was 2 for 10 in the field in the Raptors game. That's unacceptable. I don't care. I don't care if he had good energy. I don't care if he's being double, triple teamed. 4 and 7 and 3. And then tonight, 12 and 5? Unacceptable. We're all sitting here saying, oh, DeAndre Ayton needs to get the ball more, and DeAndre Ayton could have a real all-star campaign with Booker being out. You ain't getting to the all-star game with those numbers, man. Again, I've said this 3 times tonight. DeAndre Ayton was our leading scorer with 12 points. If I could talk to James Jones right now, I would say that. I would say, James Jones, our leading scorer tonight was DeAndre Ayton with 12 points. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. You guys tell me, man. You guys let me know if I'm wrong. Am I tripping? Is Suns Twitter tripping right now? Because y'all already know how Suns Twitter works. I find it hilarious. And look, I can't be a hypocrite. I contribute to the Suns toxic Twitter at times, but I feel like I tweet out the facts sometimes. Sometimes I'm trolling. I'll be real. I'll tweet out a couple troll tweets here and there. Like at the end of the first quarter, I tweeted something out like, let me find the tweet. I thought it was funny. It was like, the Suns are shooting 22% and 10% from 3. The comeback begins now. Or like the Knicks are in trouble. I tweeted something out like that. But I do want to read you guys a very special tweet here. Because look, I can go up and down the roster, and I'll just do that real quick before I read you this tweet. Chris Paul, 11 points, blah, 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 4 for 11. Ish Wainwright, I thought he played hard, 8 points, 3 rebounds, had a couple threes. Damian Lee, 10 points, and then I don't know what happened after that. And then Dwayne Washington Jr. late in the game had 10 points. Let me read you this very special tweet from my guy over John at the Suns Jam Session podcast. This tweet deserves its own spotlight. And I sort of talked about this on the Q&A just recently. By the way, let me know if you guys want more Q&As and everything. Can you guys see that okay? I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. This tweet needs to be zoomed in. Zoom. All right, can you guys see that tweet okay? Cool. Here's the great tweet. Let me take a sip of my water. And I responded to this tweet, and I meant every word. John from the Suns Jam Session podcast says, The Suns are going through it. But if you think that firing James Jones and Monty Williams is the answer, you're sadly mistaken or an idiot. Why, after so many years of not having consistent culture in place, would we want to go back to that place again? Amen. Hallelujah. Yes, the Suns suck right now. Yes, we are completely injured. Yes, the Knicks crushed us tonight. Yes, at one point I was scared that the Suns were even going to get to 50 points. But firing Monty Williams is not the answer. It's just not. Firing James Jones, who ever since he came in here has rebuilt this roster from scratch, led us to the finals, led us to a 64-win season last year, completely changed the offense, by the way, and the defense. What, we were like the most clutch team in the league last year or something like that, or like of all time or something like that. Got us Chris Paul. At one point got us Jay Crowder. Got us a few other guys, like JaVale McGee last year and all that. Bismack Biyombo, all that. It just doesn't make sense. So my response to this tweet, and again, I feel like I talked about this on the Q&A live stream just the other night. By the way, go check that out. This isn't like NBA 2K out there. And some of you guys are probably like, NBA 2K, what are you talking about? I don't play video games. Well, in NBA 2K, you can literally change your franchise in the click of a button in a matter of seconds. Firing Monty Williams, it's not going to happen. Not this season. It's just not. I just realized my computer's unplugged. Anyways, Devin Booker, I even tweeted this out. Devin Booker had 5 coaches in 5 years. 5 different offenses, 5 different philosophies. I've never used that word in my life. 5 different, defensive systems, training, yada, yada, yada. 5 coaches in 5 years. Monty Williams isn't going anywhere. James Jones isn't going anywhere. A key word in this is culture. I know that a lot of Suns fans, I don't know if they hate Kelly Oubre necessarily, but they don't want him back and all that, yada, yada, yada. I will always love Kelly Oubre Jr. because he was here at a time when Phoenix was one of the worst teams in the league. The culture was bad. The culture was pretty much non-existent. And at least he gave us a culture. He gave us the Valley Boys and the merchandise and just the vibe, the cool Kelly Oubre that we all know. And he was passionate on the court, the push-ups and everything, and just getting hyped and dunking on people and flexing and all that kind of stuff he's doing in Charlotte right now. And James Jones was there during that time. And so was Monty Williams. And look, I will say this. And I sort of said this on the Q&A. Now, again, I had a few drinks in me, so maybe I was tripping. Coaches always go first. So hypothetically speaking, if we get bounced, let's say in the second round, and it's bad. Let's say it's a bad, Dallas Mavericks part 2 or whatever. We get our asses kicked. And then let's say we start off the season rough. Maybe Monty Williams goes. Maybe. But I'm only saying that because 1, the circumstances, and 2, if we started off the season rough, coaches always go first. But even then, and we still have to see what's going to happen with this ownership. Once the ownership signs crosses their T's, dots the I's, yada, 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 to see what their actual direction is, to see if they're actually making impactful moves. I don't know, you guys. I don't see it. Again, things would have to go from completely terrible to just collapsing for Monty Williams and James Jones to go. Let's see what Shot Chucker said. Don't fire both of them. Get Steve Nash on the phone. He knows how to lead a team, I fear. That's so good. Daniel says, Shot Chucker makes a point there. You guys are great, man. Is there a whole coaching staff? No, someone is not performing somewhere. Yeah, you know what, man? That's a good point too, Daniel. Like, sure, you do want to point the blame on Monty, but remember, there's like a big man coach and a defensive coach, and I don't know football, but probably an offensive coordinator, and your team doctors and all that shit. Like, it's the whole coaching staff. Oh, and by the way, if Monty Williams gets fired, pretty much the entire coaching staff goes, to my knowledge, unless it's like a middle of the season kind of thing. I don't know, but that was a great tweet from John, man. Like I got a lot of respect from John and Matt, the Suns Jam Session podcast. I was recently on their show when we played the Wizards like a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. They do great work over there, but I really had to go on that rant. So that's it, you guys. Like, I really don't know if there's anything else to break down from this game. If you guys want to ask me a question, let's go for it. Shoot me some questions. I think there is one question in here that I don't know if I'm prepared to answer, but I'm going to do it anyways if I can get my mouse to work. Let's see. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any questions here. Where was the question? It was like a Luka question. The NBA's golden boy, Luka. Daniel says we took 8 over Luka. Sad face. Suns should trade with the Knicks. I don't think a Suns-Knicks trade is going to happen. Logan, my guy Logan says, Booker and the ball watchers. You know what? I don't know why that just reminded me. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't see it. I haven't seen much ball movement, and I have seen a lot of standing around. Guys just waiting to catch the ball and shoot. There was a couple of times this game where the Knicks defense was kind of swarming us, so this ball was kind of zipping around. Like there was somebody on Suns Twitter that was at the Knicks game today, and they uploaded a clip of, I think it was like a double screen. Chris Paul dished it to Dario. Dario caught the ball, drove in. Nice bounce pass to Jock Landale. I'm like, why can't we do that like 20 times a game? You zip the ball around, someone's eventually going to score. I haven't seen a zip around. Replayer Short says, why do we keep losing? Like, I go to the Cavs game tomorrow and I want them to win. Oh, God. I'm going to go ahead and say James Jones needs to make a trade. Monty Williams is not the problem. Monty is an excellent coach and brought this piss-poor franchise to the finals, 64-18. Exactly. Shot Chucker, if I see one more lineup of Dario at the 4, I'm going to scream. So good. You guys are hilarious, man. There was a Luka question in here, and I can't find it. Are you seeing what Luka is doing right now? Trade everyone for Luka. Here's the thing, you guys. Can I go on a rant real quick? Just a quick little rant. Just because Suns Twitter or let's say like a Suns podcast or whatever comes up with a really good trade idea, that doesn't mean that the other team is going to trade that player. Like Julius Randle right now in the Knicks, they're not trading Julius Randle. I got to blow my nose real quick. I got a runny nose. I apologize. They're not trading Julius Randle, man. Now, look, they won 8 in a row. They won 8 in a row. They lost 5 in a row coming into this game. They just won. They'll probably go on another streak. They're not trading Julius Randle, man. He's like all they got right now. And are they going to trade Julius Randle to a Suns team for Jay Crowder and players X, Y, and Z and a draft pick? No, they're not going to do that. I see all these other trade rumors like, we want this player from the Wizards, like Kyle Kuzma, and we want like this guy from, I don't know, let's say, I'm tripping right now. I don't even know. We want this guy from the Hawks. Like, it's not happening, you guys. And that's why James Jones is so unpredictable, because he knows he can pick up the phone all day, call teams, say, hey, we're offering Jay Crowder and this for your guy, but that they're probably going to hang up the phone and just say, no, that's our guy. Like, we're not trading him. And I understand, like, I get why people do it. That's why I never go to the trade machine, because one, I would suck with creating a trade. So at least I give those people props for doing those kind of trade theories and all that. But I don't know, man. Now, as Logan points out, there are some situations, like in Chicago, DeRozan, but even then, I'm like, I doubt it. Unless Chicago literally waves the white flag and starts crumbling down and says, yep, fire sale, getting rid of everybody. Maybe. But that's like a trade deadline thing. And is there a trade that is going to help us until the trade deadline? Probably not. James Jones, if I know James Jones, man, he's probably going to wait till the last hour. And Suns Twitter is going to be on fire, and so will I be. I'll be on fire too. He's going to wait till the last hour to make a Crowder trade and then some other move. And I hope it's genius enough to get us past the second round, man. I said this. I think I've said this a couple times. Worst case scenario, I really believe that the Suns have to get to the Western Conference Finals. They have to. Am I wrong there? Worst case scenario, I think they have to get to the Western Conference Finals. How are they going to do that? They got to stay healthy. This roster ain't going to get it done. They need to at least make some kind of a move. The whole Jay Crowder situation is just like, look, I love doing the Suns content and everything. I love making videos and everything. But at one point, I was like, I'm not making a Jay Crowder trade rumor, because there's like a Jay Crowder trade rumor every single day. So I'm not going to just sit there and waste my time talking about another rumor. Oh, yeah, this player would fit pretty well. And yeah, I think they would take on Jay Crowder for a year. You know, like, I'm not going to do that, you guys. Call me when there's some real news, and then I'll actually do a video or a post-game live. Here's a question. Suns Geek, do you think Phoenix is desirable for players/teams still? Does anyone want what we have to offer? Okay, key word here, desirable. I would say yes, especially with what's going on with the ownership. And I understand the Robert Sarver stuff's really bad, but, you know, Matt Ishbia and his brother Justin and that whole like law firm or whatever, his company and all them coming in here, that helps. Definitely helps. Makes us look a little bit better. And, you know, we still got Devin Booker, Hall of Famer Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges. I think we are. I think we're becoming that. I mean, let's be real. Who doesn't want to live in Phoenix, man? Especially with the weather and all that. Downtown Phoenix, Scottsdale, all that. But the second part of his question is really good. Does anyone want what we have to offer? That's kind of the whole rant I just went on. Like, do they really? It depends on the other team, man. Take away Phoenix for a second. And, like, let's look at Chicago. Again, it would really have to start crumbling and go from bad to worse for Chicago for them to even consider what we have to offer. And even then, is a rebuilding Chicago team going to take on Jay Crowder? No. And I think that that's why this Jay Crowder stuff is taking so long, is because of what's going on with all the other teams. And does James Jones really want to trade Crowder to a contender who could potentially beat us in the Western Conference Finals or the Finals? That whole sentence or whatever I just said scares me. I don't know, man. To answer Jackson here, did you watch the beginning of the season? No, I didn't. I didn't make videos and post-game live shows and reaction videos of this. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't watching the start of the season. No, what are you talking about, man? I get what you're saying here, man. Yes, we're a good team when we're fully healthy, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what's happening right now, man. I'm talking about what is happening right now. Cam had 29 points before he got hurt, and before was averaging 15 to 20 every game. Great. We were still losing games. Sure, we were on like, what, a 5-game winning streak at one point? or something like that. We were a really good team, but even then, we had some really bad losses, man. Sorry, Jackson. With all due respect, that those comments got me heated, bro. Do our guys not practice dribbling in the offseason? They handle the ball like little kids. DeAndre Ayton. Learn how to dribble, DeAndre Ayton. All right, guys. I think that's it, man. I could sit here and rant and ramble, but I want to actually go enjoy the rest of my night. last comment here. And I'll share one more tweet because this is great. This is a good way to end the show. Shout out to PHX fans on Twitter. I think they're like an app, and he's a good follow on Twitter. Where'd the tweet go? Of course. Okay, here we go. Before we get out of here, let me just read this one comment and this one tweet. And then we'll get out of here. I appreciate everybody that's being in here to listen to me rant. I'm sorry for the negativity. It's just a bad game, you guys. Bad game. Here's how we're going to end this show. So Vision says, like, at least put up a fight instead of being down double figures in every game. Amen to that. 2, how many Suns games have been over at halftime this season, and how is this acceptable? Let me reread you that tweet. If you guys aren't listening right now, please listen. How many Suns games have been over at halftime, and how is this acceptable? I don't know. Like, again, is James Jones seriously watching the Phoenix Suns every game? I really want to know. I wish one of the media members or the local radio that gets to talk to James Jones would have the gut and stomach to say, have you been watching this season, James Jones? Like, do you know what's happening? Like, every game? Have you seen what's happening in the first quarter? Oh, man. I know that, like, the media people can't ask that because they'll probably get in trouble and all that. There's all these stupid media restrictions, but you guys get my point. And I love James Jones, man. I really do. I praised him just 20 minutes ago. I was giving him a lot of love. I love James Jones, but I wish I could ask him the hard-hitting questions. I wish Suns Twitter could respectfully ask him the hard-hitting questions. And he's a smart guy, man. He is. James Jones, it doesn't seem like it, but he does know what he's doing. He's won championships before. LeBron James called him like one of his favorite teammates ever, I think. I'll just read this tweet one more time, you guys. How many Suns games have been over at halftime this season, and how is this acceptable? I don't know. You guys are smarter than me. You guys let me know. Save us, Cam Johnson. Save us, Devin Booker. Save us. Who else is out? I don't know. Our whole roster's out, man. Shot Chucker. The guys didn't have it tonight, Monty Williams. That's so good. Oh, God. This tweet's true, too. Suns pushing Booker MVP agenda by losing so much. Exactly. I'm not saying Devin Booker's in the MVP race or he's a candidate, but he is the most valuable player of the Phoenix Suns, and it's not even close. Roy says, bring back Dragan Amen to that. I love you, Dragan. Biggest fan. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Sorry for my ranting. Sorry for the negativity. Stefan says this loss really hurts. Yeah, you know what? So says Jay. Was that the Knicks game today? Suns Knicks game in New York, and they got blown out. That must suck. You know what I mean? Like, you're in New York for whatever reason. He's there. Went to the game. He had good seats too, and they got blown out. Sad, man. Just sad. Well, I hope y'all have a great and blessed day. I hope y'all have a great and blessed New Year's. I have to go back to my other job tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I've been off for a few weeks. Been nice. That way, I've been able to pump out lots of Suns content. Stay tuned, you guys. I'm going to have more better live shows coming, I promise. More organized shows, if you will. And hey, maybe occasionally I'll do like a rant show like I did today. This was just one giant rant. But I feel like we had some good conversations here. Sorry for all my coughing and sneezing and my nose leaking and everything. I've been sick a little bit. But y'all are real ones, man. Like seriously, if I didn't thank you guys already, we just passed 7K subscribers, and I truly do appreciate that. We're over 7,000 subscribers. It's amazing. I don't want to say I have like a big following on TikTok because I don't, but I think I passed 650 followers on TikTok, which is crazy. I've been doing my Reacting to Suns Twitter series. That's really been going well. Y'all are showing me love on Instagram and all that stuff. The links are tickering down here. They're all in the description. Go check them out. I had a blessed Christmas. I had a great New Year's. It was awesome. So before we get out of here, though, I'm going to move the microphone and show you guys my awesome shirt. Shout out to my dad who got me this. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Chucky fan. Check out my shirt, please. Let me lower this too so you guys can see it. Oh yeah, look at that, baby. Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back. The shirt's awesome. I love it. Also, before we get out of here, let me know if you guys want more Q&A live shows. I feel like I kind of started that at the wrong time because it was New Year's night and there was like that college football game going on or whatever. But we had a decent amount of people in there. We went for like over an hour. Like I took a couple shots. I was drinking a beer. It was a good time. I'm thinking of doing that weekly. Because one, it would be good consistency. You know, maybe more people will join throughout the year, throughout the month. But if I can't spend an hour a day with you guys, at least once or maybe twice a week, or like once every 2 weeks or something like that, like what am I even doing here? So please expect more live streams. Please expect maybe a weekly Q&A thing, or maybe like every 2 weeks, maybe a Q&A, or literally I'll just go live and you guys just ask me questions, or I'll go on my Instagram and ask you guys for questions. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. So yeah, that's it. I'm done rambling. I love you guys. God bless. Happy New Year's. Go Suns. James Jones, please make a moves. And oh yeah, by the way, here's my Q&A little thumbnail from last show. I know it looks terrible, but that was the Q&A from last week. My terrible thumbnail. Oh yeah, and thank you guys for 7,000 subscribers. All right, James Jones, go make a move, please. Get healthy, Phoenix Suns. Get healthy, Devin Booker and Cam Johnson. I love you guys. You guys are all amazing. God bless. Peace out and go Suns.